For the 2022 Drive Car of the Year, we have a new category. To reflect the rising number of what we affectionately call super utes, we introduced a category for dual cabs that go above and beyond. We have the Rubicon edition of the Jeep Gladiator, the Warrior edition of the updated Nissan Navara Pro-4X, and the Raptor edition of the Ford Ranger. The new twin-turbo V6 petrol version of the 2023 Ford Ranger Raptor wasn't released in time for this year's Drive Car of the Year testing. But, as we would discover, the Ford Ranger Raptor in its original guise is still holding its own against newer competition. Drive Car of the Year 2022 and the judges' pick as Best Adventure Dual Cab 4-wheel drive is this one, the Ford Ranger Raptor. You can see the signs now, can't you? A decade in and still the king. That's right, this is a decade old and it's still top of the pile. Let's have a look at how it managed to beat two very, very competent dual cabs, the Jeep Gladiator and the Navara Warrior. Priced close to $85,000 in the traffic, the Jeep Gladiator Rubicon is at the top end of ute buyer budgets. Available with a 3.6 litre V6 petrol engine only, in a market dominated by diesels, it also has higher running costs than its peers. It's comparatively thirsty in this company. We averaged 13.6 litres per 100 kilometres after mostly open road driving. The fuel rating label average is 12.4 litres per 100 kilometres. So the Jeep Gladiator is one of the least fuel efficient vehicles in its class. The other two dual cabs consumed about 8 litres per 100 kilometres of diesel on test. But there's a trade-off. The Jeep has superior engine and driveline refinement. The 8-speed auto is a smooth operator and there won't be any diesel particulate filter dramas. The Jeep Gladiator Rubicon has most mod cons covered, a clever infotainment system, a cranking sound system, and the convenience of removable roof covers above the front seats. But the driver's seating position is a little cramped, there is plenty of tyre rumble and steering vagueness at highway speeds, and the long wheelbase delivers a massive turning circle. It can also scrape its belly off-road. In the end, while the judges could see the appeal of the Jeep Gladiator Rubicon and were impressed by its off-road hardware, it was more compromised on-road and off-road than the others in this contest. The Nissan Navara Pro-4X Warrior is the successor to the Nissan Navara N-Trek Warrior. Although the changes may seem skin-deep, engineers retuned the Warrior's locally developed suspension to suit the new upgraded payload. The hoopless bull bar is now winch compatible, and the Navara has also gained key safety tech with the latest facelift, which also brought with it better bi-LED headlights. Autonomous emergency braking, rear cross traffic alert, and blind zone warning are all now standard. However, radar cruise control and speed sign recognition, standard on many rivals, are still not available. As with the original Warrior, this is not simply a sticker pack with jacked up suspension. It has retuned suspension tailored to suit off-road tyres, which combined deliver better ground clearance. Alloy wheels with a wider offset deliver a slightly wider track for better stability both on-road and off. And it's the only ute among this trio with a 3,500 kilogram towing capacity. It also has the highest payload. Driven in isolation, the Navara Warrior shines brightest when it's off-road. But alongside this company, the Navara Warrior sounded and felt less refined overall, even for a dual cab. And the cabin is starting to look dated, despite the new steering wheel and digital instrument display. The $10,000 price rise with the new model hasn't helped its cause either. With automatic transmission, the Nissan Navara Pro-4X Warrior now costs north of $75,000 in the traffic, putting it much closer in price to the Ford Ranger Raptor. The original Nissan Navara N-Trek Warrior was praised for having improved off-road ability and tough truck looks at a much more affordable price than the Ford Ranger Raptor. But bringing the price of the Nissan Navara Pro-4X Warrior closer to the Ford Ranger Raptor has highlighted the capability gap between these two vehicles. While other dual cabs aim to compete in the same super ute space, it has become apparent that no one else has yet come close enough to truly challenging the Ford Ranger Raptor for its epic bandwidth of on-road comfort and off-road ability. That it manages to feel almost luxurious to drive after spending time behind the wheel of the other two finalists demonstrates what an engineering feat this is. For all its merit though, the Ford Ranger Raptor is not perfect. At around $85,000 by the time it's on the road, as our tests were conducted, it's priced at the top end of the scale. And as we've reported before, the twin-turbo 2-litre 4-cylinder diesel could do with more punch and has had reliability issues in the past. The 10-speed automatic needs to be calibrated for smoother and more intuitive shifts as well. Payload is capped at 714 kilograms and the towing capacity is limited to 2,500 kilograms, the lowest of the three on test. But the Ford Ranger Raptor is, quite frankly, in a class of its own according to the judges. It's the best on-road and it's the best off. And we can't wait to drive this platform with some real grunt behind it next year.
What do we like about the Raptor? It's exceptional off-road, comfortable on the road, and it looks the business.
The Raptor gets a lot of heat because it's got a twin-turbo 2-litre 4-cylinder engine, but let me tell you, this thing is still a beast. While the other vehicles in this Super Ute segment are also really capable off-road, the Ranger Raptor is the most complete package. Its untouchable off-road is the most plush on-road. The only minor downside is these off-road tyres are slippery on sealed roads in the wet. But when it comes to off-road, the Ford Ranger Raptor is still unmatched.
These adventure trucks not only have to act tough, they've also got to look tough. And personally, I love the way the Raptor looks. It's got a wide stance, these cool stripes up it, and I've got to say, it looks even better when it's covered in dirt.
The Ford Ranger Raptor is the oldest of the three finalists in this segment, but it is still the best and the winner, and I think it's a fair winner because Ford has done such a good job of taking a normal Ford Ranger but putting in a lot of effort underneath the skin to turn this into something that is a little bit wild but also really well executed. It's all about the suspension for me that is hiding underneath those bulged guards. It's really high-end stuff, it's perfectly tuned to the car, and I can attest to, personally, this thing walking the walk. We drove this thing hard around a racetrack for hours on end for a recent video, and we weren't easy on the car. It was sliding, it was hot and dusty. We jumped this thing plenty of times, but it kept coming back for more and it never put a foot wrong. So for me, that is really good evidence that this is a great fun and well executed four-wheel drive ute.
What I think's most impressive about the Ranger Raptor, and to be honest, I've felt this way since I first drove it, is the fact that the improvements they've made that are dedicated to off-road performance have actually made it even better to drive on-road. And a lot of that is down to the suspension. Obviously, it's incredibly high-tech, really, in dual cab terms, and that's why it rides so well on the road. However, a big part of it is the cabin. It's a really, really comfortable cabin. First of all, the seats. Just about all of us test drive Ranger and Ranger Raptor and comment that in the dual cab segment, these trucks have got the best seats. They're really comfortable, they're not too soft, they're not too firm, you don't slide all over the place, they keep you in the position you want to be in while you're driving. Visibility is excellent, really good, doesn't matter whether you're driver or passenger. Ford's sync system is easy to use, the switches, the gauges, the displays, the way everything works is really easy to understand, and it's genuinely impressive when you stop and think that this is going up against much newer competition. This thing's been around for a decade. It's genuinely impressive that Ranger, and in this case Ranger Raptor, still sits right up at the top of the dual cab segments, even though it's as old as it is. It's a real testament to the development and engineering that Ford's put into it. In this segment, which is about adventure-focused dual cab four-wheel drives, the Ranger Raptor, and the cabin specifically, certainly is at the top of the group. It feels more comfortable and it feels a level above Gladiator, which of course is a Wrangler derivative, and it feels above that. And I'd say, in my opinion, it's more comfortable and there's more space back here than you get in a Nissan Navara as well. So, while this isn't four-wheel drive wagon levels of comfort and amenity in the second row, certainly the best in its segment.
Because of that race-bred Fox suspension and upgraded wheels and tyres, judges found the Ford Ranger Raptor to be an improved experience both on-road and off-road. Straight-line performance from the 2-litre turbo diesel engine might not match the aggressive looks or the Ford performance heritage of the Raptor brand, but ride quality is a noticeable and big improvement. This is both in comparison to a standard Ranger and in comparison to other finalists in the segment. Off-road performance and capability both take a clear leap forward. While the Ranger Raptor is able to handle jumps, corrugations and whoops better than anything else in standard form, low-speed off-road capability is also improved. Ground clearance is better. That's thanks to the wider and taller suspension setup on this Raptor, as well as the 33-inch BF Goodrich all-terrain tyres. They're the biggest tyres in terms of diameter in this segment, and they give clearance and traction both a big boost off-road. All round, it leaves the Raptor proving to be very capable off-road, but also comfortable and enjoyable on-road.
The Ford Ranger Raptor was a unanimous winner. While the judges were impressed by individual elements of the Jeep Gladiator Rubicon and Nissan Navara Warrior, the Ford Ranger Raptor was simply on another level. It had the most comfortable cabin, the most comfortable on-road manners, and was an absolute beast off-road with its awesome traction control system combined with gnarly off-road tyres and suspension. The wider track also helps its cause on-road and off. In the end, the Ford Ranger Raptor is a worthy winner, and we can't wait to see what's next for this exciting category of vehicles that have been dubbed Super Utes. Don't forget to smash that like button if you've enjoyed this video. Click on subscribe so you can stay up to date with all of our latest video content, and of course, all the Drive Car of the Year reviews and our regular reviews as well. They're over at Drive.com.au.